Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the channel and welcome to another car review. And today we're in a icon, and in my opinion the best body style ever, 1969 Ford Mustang Sport Roof Mach 1. Now originally this one came with a 351 Windsor engine and a 3-speed automatic. Now however, like many cars of the era, some changes have been made, and now it has a 363 stroker in it with a 5-speed manual transmission. So you can expect a whole lot more fun out of a car like this, especially since in the good old days, manuals were faster than the automatics. There's just something about a car like this. This shifter over here, the way that it's angled towards you, you see that in all the old school movies with the shifter just fitting in your palm like that. Like my old 2005 Mustang GT, it's not economical at all. It's just right there in the middle. This angle towards you, that ball, it's a Hurst shifter. It's just perfection right here. Now the cool thing about old cars for me is the backstories that they have, because they've been alive so long. Just to give you a little bit of a perspective right now, we are living in 2019, the moment that this was filmed. This car is in 1969, so it is officially 50 years old. And in that lifespan, there's a lot of stories to tell. Now originally, this car was bought new by the grandfather of the owner that's sitting next to me, and it was daily driven till about 1986. After that, it went to the owner's mother, who took it to high school. So imagine a girl driving this car to high school in the 90s. I mean, the styling is impeccable. This is like America right here. If you ask anyone from outside of the United States, what car do you think fits most with the United States? They're gonna say the Mustang. Oh man, that is just freaking amazing right there. There's something visceral about something like this. Old school American cars like these are just freaking amazing. And even though these brakes are old, it's not bad at all. Oh my goodness. It actually turns okay as well. This is just amazing, guys. It really, really is. Yes, it's a little fake compared to the new cars, but you don't care. And that's another thing that you don't care about, is being the fastest. When I drive my own Mustang, you know, I know it's not the fastest, but I constantly you got that undertone that you have to drive fast. With these cars though, I just don't have that. I'm happy to put the pedal to the metal, but I'm also completely fine just taking it easy. And that's the wonder about old cars, and that's part of the reason why I want to get an old car myself, is just to have that great feeling that you don't have to prove anything anymore, because this car has proven itself already. Now we're stopped at the light. You do hear a little bit of a whistle, that's the AC, but you know, who cares? And older cars, I forgive sounds like this. In a newer car, I just don't. But this, I'm completely fine with. And besides, you know, it's important to feel cool in a car like this in more than one way, and AC is a definite must in Texas. Even just slowly accelerating, it's just a freaking joy. Just the analog feeling that you get with a car like this, you can't replicate it with any new car. This is cool to its core. Now, of course, the number one thing that comes up in cars like these is the styling. Now, I've said previously, this is the best looking body style ever, in my opinion, and it rings true even today. The reason why I like the S197 so much is because the styling cues on this come back in the S197. It started in 2005 with the front end. You got the quad headlights here, and of course the S197 in 2010 got the hips that this car has. Now obviously the hips in the newer cars don't have the non-functional vents that these cars have, but that's forgiven because the Boss 302 in 1969 also did not have these side vents, and that's actually the only fastback car or sports roof car that did not have the side vents in 69. In 70, the side vents completely disappeared, which is unfortunate because it's the iconic styling, and that's the reason why I love this car so much, because it's kind of out there. It's not as, I guess, sleek as the 1970s. It's just, it has an extra thing. Now, another thing that comes up on the styling is, of course, the hood. Now, in 69, you can spec the standard scoop on the Mach 1, which is what this one is, but you can also get the shaker hood. Now, the cool thing about the scoop, though, is that you have indicators. Now, normally, you had to have to look down to see if your indicator, if you didn't hear the indicator clicking. Now, you can just look over the hood, you start seeing them flash, and that's just freaking cool. Something that I think they should really bring back, because I think it's awesome. Now, one thing that I do have to note is that originally you could only get a 3-speed manual or a 4-speed manual. A 5-speed manual did not exist back then. So this is like the perfect upgrade, along with the power adder that this engine, this stroker, gives you. Yeah, guys, this is just a freaking amazing car. You cannot get enough driving a car like this for sure. And it had just a little bit of cam in it too, just a little bit. It's perfect. It doesn't shake you to the ground, but it's not completely perfect idle either. Better than this, absolutely not. The styling on this car is just amazing. You look at it from the front end, it's just freaking cool. You look at it from the back end, same story. It's just freaking cool. Side profile on this, again, you cannot get enough of this. This is freaking amazing. And this is where this car shines. Just sitting at a light, idling, just waiting for that light to turn green. That is just amazing. You cannot get enough of stuff like that, and that's why I want to get in a classic car. This is the exact reason why. It feels analog, it feels awesome. You feel like the best and most cool guy in the world when you drive a car like this and when you take off from a light. Is this the fastest? No. All these new cars that are fast, okay, you're faster, but you will never be cooler than an old school car like this, just getting it. And the cool thing about the 5th gear is, of course, the RPM, because right now we're doing about 65 and we're tacking just below 2000 RPM, and that is amazing. And of course, it's going to do slightly better gas mileage than it would with the automatic or the 4-speed, because those would definitely rev a lot higher.
When I had the automatic, it was like 3,500 rather than 60. So
that's crazy.
It definitely helped a lot, especially since it has a really long gear.
Yeah, you saw that Mustang in the opposite direction and you just see the heritage right there. This is where it is at. Now, these brakes are completely fine. Completely fine. And the steering, of course, you know, it's a big old hoop. All the new cars have smaller steering wheels, but it just feels right in a car like this. And of course, the power steering is not heavy at all. It's super assisted, but hey, you know, it's another one of those things. It's an old car thing. You don't really care when you drive this around. miles for days. So on the interior, this is the only type of car that actually pulls off the wood look. Newer cars, I don't care what it is, it just doesn't fit anymore. This is perfection for me. This tells you that you're stepping into something really special and something that is really dear to a lot of people's hearts, including the owner, because of course, like I said previously, this car was owned by his grandfather. He bought it new. Railroad tracks. Now let's see what happens. I'm purposely going a little bit slower here. That's not too bad at all. I was expecting more clunking. And when you talk about the dashboard, of course, there's one thing that's not original, and that's the RPM meter, but you kind of need that kind of stuff when you drive these cars just a little bit harder. I mean, it's completely happy at 1500 RPM. That is just amazing. And it stops straight. I'm not feeling any type of shimmy in this car. It's set up so nicely. You can hardly believe that a car like this is 50 years old, because it still goes down the road so nicely. And when we talk about the power level on this car with this stroker engine, it's about 450 horsepower and about 400 torque. Now, of course, I don't know what it makes at the wheels, but it's plenty. It's more than enough, because if you downshift a gear or two and you mat it, there is that get up and go, that visceralness that puts you in your seat. Now talk about these seats. Of course, they're the original seats. So you don't have side bolstering really. You don't have the type of comforts that you're used to in newer cars these days. Another thing that comes up on the interior is, of course, the back seat. Don't really have a lot of room, but it's still the truth today, so can't take points off the Mustang for that. It's really a two-seater with two people that you probably want to annoy, or not your friends if you want to put them back there for an extended period. But it will work in a pinch. Classics, man. Gotta love it. And they looked as well. That's the universal thing. People always end up looking at other classic cars. I know I do. I break my neck every single time. Now, the conclusion on the car, well, I think for this car, it speaks for itself. And if it doesn't, I think this is 100% going to change your mind. Brandon, thank you so much for letting me drive your car, this 69 Mustang Mach 1 Sport Roof, or what I prefer, Fastback. I hope you guys enjoyed this car review. For me, this is what it's all about. If you ask me what my favorite type of car is, it's this type. Classics. I hope you guys take care, and I'll see you on the flip side. Oh man. Brandon, wow. It moved. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that at all.
It burns out all through
I'm like, okay, this is gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. It was
yeah.
Holy crap.
Because when you're that fourth gear, it feels kind of, but it's such long gearing, you don't really expect it down in first or second.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And this thing just, wow. Yeah, this thing is, it's such a visceral feeling. Yeah. Driving a car like this around, and then, you know, your willingness to share it with me.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that's what he would have wanted. He wanted people to see it and to share it. My mom will love the idea of you coming to review it. She was really happy about it. She'll watch the video 50 times. You just talking about it over and over. Okay, so the, oh god,
said.
Yeah, go like say and go in like any gear.
Is it back?
Yeah. It's
Any gear and then.
Yeah. Then
Sweet.
yeah.
Oh God, man, this shifter.
Yeah.
That alone. Woo. Oh God. Damn, man, this thing gets up and goes, dude.
Even in fourth.
I mean, I got on it and that thing just woo.
Yeah.
This guy behind us has been following us for a while. He just caught back up. What's the turning radius on this thing?
It's not too bad. If you get it a more full lock, it may drag the motor just a little bit because that power steering.
Power steering, yeah.
Yeah. But besides that, it's not too bad.
We'll find out. We'll find out. U-turn test. Can we do this? Definitely gotta go in first gear. Yeah. Turn signal. Yeah. Let this guy pass over here. Yeah, they all look.
Breaknecks all the time.
Merca, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Let's see, I'll have to turn around over here. That should have gone here. Let me still do that. Get in first gear. Uh-oh. I said I don't want to reverse, and now I put myself in a situation that is like the worst reverse ever. There's no, yeah, nope. All right. 1,000,000-point turn, here we come. Did I? There you go, the idle. Run down just a little bit, but hey. Wasn't a 1,000,000-point turn, I'm impressed. Credit where credit's due. Oh, look at this. Here you go. You can see the lights. That's amazing. That is amazing. Bring that back, Ford, do it. Listen to it. I mean, it sounds so freaking awesome, man. This is like, you know, part of me goes, yes, it's so awesome, and then another part of me goes, I look at my own Mustang, I go, you are still epic, but the reason why you're epic is because of this one. Yeah. And now I've driven this and I go, I love you. Yeah. But you understand, right? I mean, oh. And now I'm here, I'm talking to cars.